Welcome everyone. Come on in to our awesome and incredible event that you are partaking in this afternoon, early evening. Welcome to our Boca Chambers Young Entrepreneurs Academy 2021 CEO Roundtable and Elevator Pitch Competition. We are so very excited to have each and every one of you here with us today to take time out of your busy schedule to support these students on their journey into entrepreneurship. Now, let me tell you, these students are incredible because they have taken on this tremendous task alongside the work that they do for their respective schools. We have students from 10 different schools represented tonight, and each student, I personally believe, are an example of the best and the brightest within their classes. So I am so thankful for each of you being here today, and just stay with us as we go through this program to hear first from successful CEOs within different industries during the first half, and then followed by the exciting pitching competition as the students share their own innovative ideas. But first, let me turn it over to the man who is not only a visionary of one of our largest chambers, of course, but also sees the importance of developing high caliber young people for business leadership. And that's our Boca Raton CEO, our chamber CEO, the wonderful man of Troy McClellan.
Cherise, thank you. Appreciate that nice introduction. And I share your excitement and enthusiasm about this program, about the students, the children that go through this process and this journey. And so along with Cherise and everyone else, first of all, Happy New Year. I know it's the 20th already, but we're well into 2021. Excited about tonight's CEO roundtable and elevator pitch competition at the end, which is always exciting and a highlight of tonight's event. As Cherie says, we have so much pride for these students. We appreciate the commitment that they've taken to go through this program, and under unique conditions, continuing to go through this program, not being together in person, physically, and taking advantage of that sort of collaborative environment. But I'm telling you, these kids have been amazing, and they're doing it all online. And I guess they're used to it by now, whether it's through their school or through this program or whatever it is. But excited to have you here. And I think many probably who are with us tonight understand that the YEA program is brought to you by the Boca Chambers Golden Bell Education Foundation, which for the past 30 years has been supporting public schools, programs like this YEA program, bringing it through grants and other financial support to our communities for a very, very long time. And we've given over $1.7 million in financial support to the schools, to programs like this, et cetera. And so very proud to be able to do that in this community. A program like this takes a lot of support and partners. We have many, and so I certainly want to thank all of them. Too many probably to mention individually on this call, because we've got a lot to do tonight. But we are going to put those sponsors and partners on the screen so that you can see who they are and those companies and people that have helped us throughout the years. We are now 10 years, 1 decade into the Young Entrepreneur Academy program. And still, even in its 10th year, it's one of my favorite, just so exciting, gets us all energized and feeling really good about the future of our country, the future of business, by watching these young kids, these young entrepreneurs go through this process, watch them come up with their creative ideas and solutions to problems that we all face in our daily lives or in the business community, whatever it is. And so again, just a special time to be around and be part of this program. And we thank all of those sponsors who have been a part of it. Certainly need to recognize the chair of the Golden Bell Education Foundation. His name is Chuck Stout. You're going to hear from Chairman Stout a little bit later in the program, of course, and to all the board members who you're going to meet. They'll be recognized later as well for their time, talent, and treasure to this education foundation. And then we must thank, of course, well, the students, as I mentioned, for taking the time and commitment to go through the program, but the parents and families, right? I mean, it's enough to perhaps be home already with your regular schooling, if you're still, getting your education remotely, but then to have this program on top of it. So might be a lot of people around that kitchen table or living room or what have you. And so we certainly thank the families and the parents for supporting your students, your children, for going through this program. Many volunteers who generously give their time to this program and to the kids. We certainly thank them. All the business mentors, who specifically become part of the program, are paired up with these students to assist them to advance their business concept and to move it forward. They're with them for at least 8 weeks or so, helping to coach them and mentor them. And all the guest speakers, the expertise that we bring from the business community to this program, to the virtual classroom, and to the students, and share all that is just really invaluable. And then there's the 3 instructors, the 3 session instructors. There's 3 of them. You see them on the screen. These leaders have been with this program for at least 4 years. And you see from the top, Barbara Bush. She leads off the program for the first session. We move into the middle of the lineup with Rob Jager, and then batting cleanup is Ken Liebersfeld. Again, these 3 leaders, special people, special leaders, have been with us for a very long time, very familiar with the program. I can tell you that there's no other program in the country that has the consistent commitment of leadership at this level of volunteerism than we do here, right here at the Boca Chamber. And so Barbara, Rob, and Ken, thank you so much for all that you do for this program and more. And then lastly, we have to have someone to pull this all together, and that's Charisse. You heard from Charisse at the outset. Charisse manages the foundation, but she also runs this entire YEA program, and she manages all the moving pieces and brings it all together very smoothly. So Charisse, thank you so much for all that you do for the foundation, and of course for this program and the kids. And so tonight, once again, we have incorporated the elevator pitch competition in with the CEO roundtable. And so when the roundtable ends, when we're done hearing from and asking questions from our special CEOs tonight, we will transition into the elevator pitch contest. I hope that everyone on the call continues to stay for that. These kids won't disappoint you. It'll be an amazing experience. I want to thank all the CEOs. They will be introduced for coming back. Some of them are repeat participants. We thank you very much for that, and for taking the time on a Wednesday late afternoon, early evening, and sharing your experiences and knowledge with these kids who are eager and hungry to hear from you and learn from you. And then for the elevator pitch, we've got 3 judges who are going to take the time to judge. 2 of them are Golden Bell board members. One is Michelle Adams with Center State Bank. The other is Elke Boje. She's with Wells Fargo Bank. And then Debbie Levine with the Boca Raton Police Foundation. So thank you, ladies, for taking the time to play the important role of judging the elevator pitch contest. Again, I just want to thank everybody on the call. I know there's many of you. We've got an exciting night ahead of us, so I want to keep my comments brief. I'll talk to you a little later, but thanks for supporting this program, these students. Thanks for supporting the foundation. So before we actually get to the CEOs, I'm going to turn it back over to Charisse for a few more comments. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Troy. Yes, definitely. I'm so grateful just pulling the pieces together for every panelist, every judge, the students, the parents who put your students in this program, the guest speakers, the mentors. This is not possible to make this program so great without all of you. But let me first briefly just give you a little bit of an overview of what the students have been learning up to this point. This is our first year as a full virtual program. And normally we're on the beautiful campus of St. Andrew's School. However, with the societal challenges, of course, we had to move to virtual. Nevertheless, the content is still the same. Students are first introduced to entrepreneurship as a whole, then given time to flesh out their own business ideas, which was led by first segment instructor Barbara Bush, who you will hear from a bit later. And then they were introduced to the parts of the business plan, financials, and how to construct their own elevator pitches. And all of that hard work brings them to the point where they are today, with this under the second segment instructor, Rob Jager, who has fabulously and patiently guided them through their numbers, which is not an easy thing to do, and helping to fine tune what you all will see in the latter half part of this event. So now I'm going to turn it over to Rob Jager, who will be the moderator and the MC for the majority of our program.
All right. Thank you, Charisse. And, thank you, Troy, for introducing us all and getting us started. I will say that this next portion is kind of an interesting portion because this is where the kids get to ask some very interesting questions of these CEOs that are out in our community now, and get to ask the question that maybe some of us might have thought of asking but didn't have the guts to ask. They're going to ask some of those questions. And from that, they're going to learn a little bit of real life lessons from what they've done in their lives and things that they've encountered to start their business and do their business, run their business. And I think it's a valuable lesson for all those kids, but anybody in this audience who's been running a business, you can probably get some pointers out of these folks while you're listening as well. So with that, I would like to introduce the CEO panel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one by one. We're going to have each of you introduce yourselves, give us a little bit of insight of who you are, what you do, your company, and so forth. But I'm just going to run right along this slide here. So if I could have Robert Finizio, if you would take yourself and put yourself on the camera on mute, and let's hear your introduction.
Sure. Thank you, Rob. So my name is Rob Finizio. I am the CEO and co-founder of Therapeutics MD. We are a women's health company here in Boca Raton, Florida. We are currently listed, we're a public company, and we're currently listed on the NASDAQ. We focus on women's health pharmaceutical products. So we are folks that find large unmet needs in women's health, where there is a huge void of leadership. Large pharmaceutical companies have largely left this sector, and we do the research and development and clinical trials to get these drugs approved through the FDA. And then we take them out and promote them. We currently have about a 150-person sales force out across the country. And my story is I actually came down here to Florida to go to the University of Miami. I was going to go to medical school. I actually got into the University of Miami Medical School, and I decided to take a year off. I went to Japan and taught English for a year. Came back and was going to go to medical school again, and went to work for a surgical company. And from there, I just kind of was a very young entrepreneurial organization. The founder sold it 3 years later. I saw someone do very, very well, both financially, and they loved their job. And I thought it was too good to be true. So I always wanted to kind of be an entrepreneur from there on. But I learned the skills in my first job, which is advice I'd give everyone, of how to really learn a department. In my situation, it was intraoperative operations for endoscopic procedures. And then from there, I went on to work in the technology industry around medicine and pharmacies. And then from there, I went on to start my own first company called Care Fusion. I started that in 2001. I sold it to Cardinal Health in 2006, and then started this company in 2008. That's my story.
Great, cool. Lots of cool experiences, it sounds like, too. So that's awesome. All right, thank you. And next, I'm going to like to introduce Lee Hill. She was a former student who was in the YEA program with us, and it's always a good insight to hear from her. So let's Lee, would you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Lee. I am the CEO and president of Piston Trainers. Piston Trainers is the company that I started while I was in YEA. That I invented a trumpet technique training device for finger movement and position. that allows you to use muscle memory over time to correct your technique, which will allow you to play more technical pieces as you progress through the different skill levels. I'm currently a student at FSU, and I'm studying classical civilizations and anthropology. I've put my business a little bit on hold lately because I've been so busy with all of my classes that I'm taking up here, but I do hope to continue it further in the future.
Very cool. I'm glad to hear that you continued some of it for a little while at least, and I hope you get back at it. So that's awesome. Good to see you again. All right, Olivia Hollis, I would like to have you put yourself back on camera, and let's do a quick introduction for what you do and who you are. So have at it.
Thank you, Rob. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia, and I'm the founder of Protect My Shoes. I launched my business 4 years ago, and I basically invented the patented shoe stuffer. I'm a self-proclaimed shoe addict, and I was tired of the wasteful tissue paper stuffers that come with every shoe purchase. So that's kind of how the idea started, and it's kind of taken off. And since then, we've created other products all surrounding shoe care, stylish shoe care. And we sell to big box retailers like Bed Bath & Beyond. We work with brands in creating private label shoe stuffers for them. So Sarah Jessica Parker is one of my clients. And we also sell direct to consumers. So our product is available at protectmyshoes.com. We just recently joined Amazon and also on Etsy. So you can find us on several different platforms. And my background is quite diverse. I think I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I used to sell jewelry door to door when I was 10. So I think it was always in me, but quick background. I went to University of Florida. Then I moved to Beijing, China. It was supposed to be 1 year, it turned into 10 years. So I speak fluent Mandarin, and it's just, it's been great though. You know, my experience there really has helped me as I work hard and work hard to grow my business.
Having been able to go to China probably helped you a lot as well, learn on the manufacturing side, I'm sure. So
yep.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. And let's have a quick introduction to somebody that I know well, Jennifer Jagger, if you would take yourself and put you on camera and do a quick self-introduction.
Hi, my name is Jen Jagger. I am the creative director of Plum Productions Video Production Services. I'm actually married to Rob. We're in the business together. We run it together. I started Plum in 2009, so it's been going, you know, well over 10 years at this point. We started off really small with kind of smaller clients, and we've really grown, especially, you know, in the past few years. We've gotten a lot bigger accounts. We've got, you know, retainer accounts, and the business has really grown a lot. We provide video production services for, you know, anything from a law office to this week we shot a virtual fashion show for Saks Fifth Avenue up in West Palm Beach. And we also offer YouTube channel management services as well, which is kind of a newer offering. And we've also offer live streaming. We have a live stream team. That's been something that obviously has been really popular for the past year or so. So we do a lot of live streaming events as well. My personal background, I used to work in broadcasting. I've worked at TV stations all over the Northeast, and then also down here. That's how I ended up in Florida for working for Channel 25 up in Palm Beach Gardens, which is an ABC station. And then I transitioned, moving to a local production company here in Boca Raton, and I did that for about 8 years. And then I decided I wanted to strike out on my own, and so I started Plum Productions. And I'm excited to be here today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Jen. And she didn't talk about her YouTube channel, but I'm sure somebody will ask her about it. So the other person that we want to talk to or listen to in terms of answering some questions from the nonprofit world is Randy Nobles. Randy, would you put yourself back on camera and do a quick introduction if you would?
Yeah, having a little trouble with the camera. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. As Rob mentioned, I'm Randy Nobles. I'm president and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of South Palm Beach County. You know, as Rob mentioned, we are a not-for-profit. You know, our business is creating affordable home opportunities for our partner families. Many of you I know probably volunteered with Habitat and helping us to build houses over the course of your life and career. You may also know us for our restores. We have one in Boca and one in Delray. I am not a lifelong nonprofit professional or executive. I spent 32 years in the finance and in banking space. And most recently, I retired about 8 years ago as the market president for the state of Florida for Comerica Bank. So I bring an extensive business and community background to the nonprofit. So welcome everybody, and thank you, Rob.
You bet. Thank you, Randy. And yeah, I'm sure the financial background helped a lot with nonprofit. So that insight's going to help, I'm sure, with some of the questions that you'll get asked by the students. Up next is Sam Zeitz. Sam, take yourself. There we go. We got you back on. All right. And go ahead. Let's do a self-introduction.
Thank you. I'm Sam Zeitz, CEO and founder of TouchSuite and another company called Grubber that we acquired a couple years ago. So TouchSuite's a leader in payment processing. We provide businesses throughout North America with the ability to accept credit cards for payment and the technology to facilitate that. And that led 2 years ago to acquiring a company called Grubber. And Grubber is the leader in self-ordering technology. So if you think of kiosks, online ordering, mobile ordering, etc., we're starting to deploy in a number of high-profile venues across the country. We recently launched this season at the new SoFi Stadium out in LA, where the Rams and Chargers play. Up in Jacksonville, where the Jaguars, and we have a whole host of other professional teams, and then a number of hospitality, restaurants, hotels, etc., that the technology is actively being deployed in. And then I am also the proud parent of a couple children who have gone through this program in prior years and who are still leading successful businesses. So everything you're starting right now, can lead to a lot of success in the future. So stick with it.
Good advice. I would say, I think so. Thank you, Sam. I would also echo that the kids that go through this program learn a lot about business. So the insights that you learn, let alone from probably your own parents and any other business people that you know, but just going through this program is I wish I had it when I was younger. So at this point, I think is a good time. Let's see if we've got some questions from the students. I know I've got a list of names here of questions that came in. So Christian, if you would, I think you have the first question to ask. Christian Frenette?
Yes, I do. This is to Randy Nobles.
Turn your camera on too so we can see you.
Oh, sure thing. This is to Randy Nobles. Why did you decide to run a non-for-profit, and how has any of your past experience growing in your career helped in that industry role?
Thank you. Love your background as well. So a good question. I had a desire to do something after I was getting a little burnout with the corporate world and the finance world, and was looking to do a little bit something more meaningful, where I could have an impact on people that needed to have an impact on them. And so, I decided I wanted to leverage my my business experience as well as my community background and contacts to help an organization that helps people. And so, nonprofits in today's world are businesses. They need to be run by business with a discipline around a business. And we're in competition for resources and donors and clients, just like everybody else. So the business background has helped me immensely with the nonprofit work and being engaged in the community, and being able to leverage that has helped a lot too. But thank you for the question. It was a good one.
Well, thank you for your insight.
Good job, Christian. And Leah, you are next with your question.
Hi, this is for Olivia Hollis. Where did you get this business idea, and how hard was it to start it?
Um, Hi, Leah. Thanks for your question. I got the business idea just because I love shoes. And I know it sounds very, very vain, but I love shoes. I love how they make you feel. You walk differently, whether you're wearing sneakers or heels. So I think it's actually very empowering. I think there's, more than just shoes. So I was just tired of the tissue paper stuffers. I thought they were wasteful. I know, we're all thinking more green these days. And, I kind of saw a business model where if I can get into these big high-end brands, if I can get my shoe stuffers already inside their shoes when you buy them, there you go. That's a really good business model. So I kind of just started toying with it and actually creating the prototype in-house at home. And I guess one thing led to another. I thought, okay, I might have something here, even though it's a very niche product. And so the next problem though was, okay, well, how am I going to fund this? So that was the challenge. Thus far to date, it's been self-funded by me. So that's something I've been very proud, about doing. So what I did though, is I sold some things. I had some nice things in my closet that I sold because, listen, an idea is more important than stuff. So I sold, some bags, some things, and I started my company. And the first thing I did was get my product patented, because that was something that I knew I needed to do first before going to market. So I made sure that I was able to pay the attorney fees. So I got it patented. And then as I was patent pending, I refined the product. And then probably about 5 or 6 months after having the idea, we launched officially, the company. So, I think it was hard to start, but I think it's harder to continue because every day is different. It's ever evolving. Then COVID hits, you have to, adapt and pivot. That's a big word these days. So I think starting wasn't that hard. I think it's just continuing and keeping it in motion and always thinking of fresh new ideas, because yes, the shoe stuffers, that's my signature product. That's what I'm known for. I'm the shoe stuffer girl, but you don't want to be so one-dimensional. So just keeping up with times and keeping up with new ideas. We're launching boot shapers next month. So always kind of, continuing and moving along.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great question, Leah. Thank you. And next comes Jordan with his question.
Thank you. This is directed to Mr. Finizio. How does the company decide what target of women to cater products to? Are they of a certain age, sickness, or any characteristic?
Jordan, good question. So we follow the basic principles that I think probably every entrepreneur would follow in most businesses. It's kind of I would say a set of parameters you really want to look at as you're starting a business. So we look for large, growing, underserved markets where there's an obvious appeal, right? So what we've always tried to do is work on things that are obvious, right? When you're too smart for your own good, and it takes a lot to explain to somebody, to really just get investment in building something, well, you know what? It's probably going to be the same thing for your target audience or your customer. So we've really tried to take the obvious approach. Very big markets, growing, underserved, with an obvious need. And in women's health, unfortunately, in the U.S., that's most areas, unfortunately, since large pharma has really walked away from the space due to insurance reimbursement being pretty rough. But that's fine for us, right? These are great markets that are large, and we have been able, with that, to come up with some innovative new contraceptive products, some new menopause solutions. And we were never, to answer your question, just focused at one kind of niche. We're trying to think big, things that could really change women's healthcare, and at the same time return a great profit for our shareholders.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question, Jordan. Next is Mithil.
Hi, my question is to Randy Nobles. It's how do you get funds to help build homes, and do you fundraise locally?
Thank you. Good question once again. a real lesson in business is diversity, and not the kind that has been in the news a lot, but the kind that relates to your clients, and you know, how many you have, and you know, the good news from a Habitat perspective, and you know, it's a lesson in business, is to have, you know, diversity in your clients and not rely on one source or one client. So Habitat has a variety of different funding sources, which include our restores, which are, you know, thrift stores that sell donated items. We write grants. We do events. We do traditional fundraising where we just go out and ask people for money. We collect payments from our homeowners that have bought Habitat homes that are making payments back to us. We do get some level of government funding and grants as well. So the good news, again, like it should be with your business, is our revenue stream is very diversified.
Smart advice. That's particularly with any client. When you look at how many clients you have and all that, right? If you're going to get a client, you might want to have more than one big client. Otherwise, it becomes a little tough. Emily, you're up next with your question.
This question is from Mrs. Jagger. Since you started this company on your own, why and how did you decide to bring your husband into it?
That is a great question. I decided to bring Rob in because I'll tell you, I mean, the story is that Rob was working as a business consultant, and he was consulting me a lot on my business. And I knew I could never at that time afford, you know, I was just starting out, to hire someone with that level of experience on the business side of things to be part of the company. So we kind of decided that we would try to work together. We gave ourselves a timeline. I think it was, we started like January 1st, 2014, and we said, let's give it to June 1st and see how this is going, how we're working together, financially, how it was gonna go. And June 1st came and went, and we said, okay, let's give it to, I think we said October 1st. And so we gave it more time, and it was still working. We were still working really well together. And so we just decided to make it a permanent arrangement. And I mean, really, there are, I would say, especially when you're small and you're just starting out, big financial benefits to sharing a household with someone in that, and running the business with them. You know, the flip side of it is, let's say, for instance, you know, early last year when COVID started and we didn't know, you know, what was going to happen with our business. It's, you know, all of our eggs were in one basket. So the risk is a little higher too. But in my experience, it's been rewarding. I know a lot of couples who work together and they love it for the same reasons we really work well together. And then I know a lot of people who've tried to do it and they can't. But if you can make it work, it's really nice. You're really working as a team, and I feel like you can get a lot more done. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Emily, you had me concerned with that question, so I'm glad she answered it okay for you. I appreciate it. Could have gone either way, I guess. But she does make it easy for me to do my job too, so that's nice. All right, so next question is Chloe, from Chloe, I mean. Chloe, let's have your question.
Hi, my question's for Olivia. How did you come up with the design of your product, make them, and then partner with bigger companies to sell?
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Wow, okay, a lot of questions in one. Well, I came up with the product, the shape, based on, I started off with the tissue paper stuffers and kind of taking that as a starting point. And then, you know, coming up with a design that would work in a lot of different shoe styles. They have to be lightweight, they're handmade, you know, and make them pretty too. They have little bows. So, you know, just kind of started basically from the tissue paper stuffers and how to improve them. Then I think the next question was how I partnered with some bigger partners. You know what, just grinding. There's, you know, I didn't have connections in retail. I didn't have connections necessarily in the fashion world. I was just coming back from Beijing, where I worked in marketing, but on the research side, I worked at Peking University. So it was very different. So I didn't really have those contacts. So just grinding, you know, sending emails. And then, you know, when I wasn't getting responses, I would actually do video messages to try and catch their attention, because a lot of these buyers and these brands, they get thousands of emails a day. So how can I make myself stand out? And also, it's such a new product. How can I explain what the product does and how it can benefit them? So, you know, you know, there was no easy way. And then, you know, most of the time you get no's, and then once in a while you get a yes, and that's a big win. And, you know, you just keep on going. In terms of manufacturing, I really wanted to make them here in the US when I first started, but the product is not expensive. It's $14.95 retail. So I really was just not able to do the manufacturing here. And when I was young, I lived in Bangkok, Thailand. So I went to my sources in Thailand, and the first collection was done in Thailand. But then when I got into Bed Bath & Beyond, these big box retailers, they really will squeeze you. And so I couldn't even afford to make them in Thailand. So I had to go back to China. And, you know, the fact that I've lived there for many years, I speak the language, you know, I understand the process, the culture. That was really super helpful. But it took me a few tries to find the right manufacturer, and we've been partnering for now about 3 years, and they're wonderful. And I've been there many times. You know, I'm there showing them, you know, what needs to be fixed. So, you know, we have a very close relationship. It's really more of a partnership. So yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's kind of the reality of things. I hope I answered your question, Chloe.
You did.
I was gonna say, it sounded like to me, yes, Chloe, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, great. It sounded like to me. And, you know, you've got to get out there, you got to be there to inspect everything, to make sure things are running right? So makes a big difference, whether you're abroad or doing things here. Inspect it if you're going to make sure you're going to manufacture it, right? So good advice. All right, next question is from Rithik.
This is for Miss Jagger. We learned that your business is also on YouTube. How do you use YouTube as a business, and how has it helped Plum Productions?
Okay. The YouTube thing is, I don't know, kind of taken on a life of its own. I think last year at this panel, I had just hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about video marketing and video production. I review products, I recommend products. And now I'm at 82,000 subscribers. The YouTube, it really has a lot of tentacles. There's a lot of different income streams that come from YouTube. My intention when I started it was to try to just get leads. So have it be kind of a lead generator, and just also for fun, but it was a kind of a business idea. And since then, it has just swelled into a lot of different avenues for income. So I get ad revenue from my YouTube channel. When I recommend products, if people use like what are called affiliate links to buy those products, I get a commission from that. And I started a few courses. So during, you know, when everyone was really locked down in COVID, we were in a panic, you know, we couldn't go out and shoot videos because everybody was locked down. So we took that time and built out a new website, built around like my personal branding, and I created some online courses. And so that has, you know, all that work I did in that time over those couple months now is still, you know, bearing fruit. And then the success on YouTube has actually led to a lot of leads for Plum Productions. We have a big client where we have just launched their YouTube channel, and it's, you know, if you looked at it, you wouldn't think it was so successful, but knowing how early on they are and the metrics I'm seeing, I'm very excited. So we're trying to prove that we can replicate the success with someone else. So that's been a new avenue for us at Plum Productions. So instead of offering just straight production services, which we continue to do, It's more about YouTube optimization and using content marketing as a lead generator for that business as well. So the YouTube thing it's kind of exploding, it's growing, and I still think there's way more to be gained from it. But it's definitely been a great ride, and we're excited about it. Thank you.
You also failed to mention that you've had a couple of marriage proposals from your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel myself. I've been lucky so far that she hasn't said yes, so that's a good thing. But anyway, so the next question goes to or from Kennedy. Kennedy, you have a question, I believe, if you would ask.
Yes, apologies. My question to Mr. Zeitz is, how do you help yes, it's weird, kind of. How do you help your companies grow or run better, I guess? And what is your competitive advantage?
Kennedy, you're referring to our clients, how we help them?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So I'll take it from the perspective of Grubber. We predominantly do three things for businesses. We help them increase revenue, decrease expenses, and improve customer experience. So on the kiosk, we can help increase the revenue because instead of looking at line items, they're looking at high resolution pictures of typically food, right? And people buy with their eyes. So when you see something that looks appealing, you're more inclined to buy it or add on. The other thing is we do customized upselling, which means it's specific to the order you ordered. There'll be a specific item associated with that you're more inclined to purchase. So typically our clients will see an uplift in average ticket of around 20%, some of us over 50%. Reducing expenses, through the reduction of labor and operational efficiency. And then, customer experience is improved through basically eliminating lines and eliminating missed orders. The other thing is we really saw through COVID and everything that's happened with the pandemic, a large, a shift towards this type of technology because everybody wanted to go contactless. So there's a big shift to not wanting to interact with a cashier and being in a more secure environment to process your orders. And then most recently, I would argue as of today, President Biden has proposed a $15 an hour minimum wage. And, that's for most businesses that have cashiers, they can't afford to pay that. So this type of technology will allow them to continue to operate and not have to close their doors. So that's our competitive advantage.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Kennedy, for that question. Good question.
Yeah, I think that was a good question. Thanks for answering it well.
Great job. All right. Joshua, I think you're up next with your question.
Hi, my question is to Miss Hill. How did you get the product made for Piston Trainer and where did you sell them?
So I got it made. I made my prototype just kind of in my garage with random supplies. And then once I had my final prototype, I took it to my neighbor who has a 3D printer, and I worked with him to make a 3D file in the STL format to 3D print it through his printer for the first few times. And then once I got funding from this program, I got my own 3D printer that I used to print them, and then I would package them in my room. I just ordered my packaging through, I don't remember what the name of the company was. A relatively local manufacturer. And I think they're stationed in Miami. So I would just package them and print them in my room. And then I would go to band events, such as like different competitions. I'd go to solo and ensemble was one of them, and MPA, which is music performance assessment. And I would set up a booth to sell them, or I would reach out to local band directors and sell to them. Like Boca Middle, the director at the time, Miss Nosworthy, bought a class set. She's now in Orlando and took it with her, so I now have a set in Orlando. And then the director at I don't remember the name of the school, but I've worked with this guy, Rich, for a while, and he bought a set for his middle school in Boynton Beach, but has since moved to Boca Middle. So both of those schools have had introduction to it. And I also have a couple at UF. One of the trumpet instructors there purchased a few for his students. So I mainly just reach out to people and then go to events and try and market that way.
Great. Great. A good question there, Jacob. And Leo, it's nice to hear that you were able to get a lot of things going. You got your own printer out of this program, which is really cool. So I like that. That's awesome. Good job. All right. And next is Zachary.
Hey, this question is for Miss Hill. How hard was it to juggle your business and high school committees? And what is happening now while in college?
So in high school, it wasn't as difficult to juggle everything because I had a I had a really busy schedule. I had rehearsals every single day of the week for all the different ensembles I was in. And I took all college credit classes throughout high school. So I had a really busy schedule, but I would take extra time or spend even more time at events than I needed to just to perform to sell my product. And I would spend my weekends reaching out to different directors, and my like after school time, if I had an hour or two before or after rehearsal, I'd run over to Boca Middle or like run over to another school and try and do some marketing and pitch my product to the directors. And then now I'm in college. I don't do it as much because I don't have access to my printer. It's still in Boca and I'm in Tallahassee. And I don't have space in my dorm room to have all of my product with me. So I'm putting it on hold for now. But I do still reach out to people and I do try and sell it to my friends essentially, because I'm in a bunch of ensembles here as well. So I tell a bunch of people about it. I have one with me, it's in my trumpet case. And when people show interest in it, I can have my parents mail it to me so I can give it to them. So yeah, that's how I balance it. I basically don't sleep.
Sounds like you need an office up there. Might need that, yeah. So and then maybe another printer up there. Maybe pay the parents a little bit of money so you can start to manufacture a little bit. But that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that. So great. Camilla, you have the next question.
This question is to Mr. Fenizio. Why did you decide to be the CEO of Rollman's Health Company?
Camilla, that's a great question. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it just kind of happened, right? So I saw an opportunity. I knew we could get it going and achieve it and build what we have here today. I didn't intend to be a CEO, but I realized if I didn't do this, nobody else would. So I did it.
Thank you.
I hope that helps. You got it. Thank you.
That's good. And last but not least, Jacob, you have a question as well.
Yes. This is to Sam Zeitz. Since you have a daughter in business, what do you think the most important trait or skill a young person should have to be an entrepreneur?
Sorry, Sam, you are still on mute.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I got somebody muted me. Number one thing would be passion. You have to have passion for whatever it is you want to go into, because as anybody on this panel will tell you, or any entrepreneur for that matter, you're going to run into lots of roadblocks, lots of obstacles, lots of things are going to happen. Good things happen, but lots of bad things happen. And it is that passion that you have for whatever it is that you're doing that keeps you getting up every time you get knocked down, and continues when everything looks like it's dire and it's not going to work. It's that passion you have for your belief in that company and what you're doing that will keep you going forward until you actually hit success. So that would be the number. I would never go into any business unless you're passionate about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good advice. And Sam, you might as well stay on there because we've gone through everybody, all the questions. And I guess what I kind of wanted to do is ask each of you, we're going to go in reverse order, which is why I said stay on because you're next. Is there any last parting advice that you would give to these students, not only when they're running their business, but how to start their business? Anything that you would recommend or any parting advice?
Yeah, well, the passion is number one in selecting the business, which I'm assuming most of you have probably found something that you're passionate about. But I would, start small, find a niche, and then expand out. So find an area that you have found, some sort of deficiency in the market that you can then exploit. And then you'll start to build up your clientele and then expand. Don't take on too much at first. Become great at doing one or two things and expand out.
Boy, that is really good advice. Okay, good. That's cool. Thank you. And then Randy, I think I'll have you go next. What any parting advice or tips or suggestions you have?
Sure. This kind of tying into Sam's point on passion. I've always held a firm belief is that you can't sell anything, number one, that you don't understand in depth how it works and how it functions and what the value proposition is. And secondly, you can't sell anything that you don't believe in yourself. So I think that really ties into the passion point. I think also, strive to be well-rounded. Just because you've got great skills in another area as a sole proprietor entrepreneur, if you don't feel comfortable publicly speaking in front of people, you probably don't have anybody as a one-man show or a one-woman show to be able to delegate that to. That's just an example, but be as well-rounded as you possibly can as you set out there.
Good advice. All right, cool. Thank you. And Jennifer?
I think I have two parts of advice. So the one piece of advice I always give is to understand the art of taking advice, because when you are growing a business, a lot of people will give you a lot of great advice, but you can't take all of it. Sometimes they're in conflict with each other. So there's really that, you really just kind of need to know, no one's going to know your business better than you do. No one's going to know where you want to go more than where you want to go. Like an example is when I first started out, someone said to me, you should be the go-to person for medical videos. Like that should be your niche. You will be that go-to person. You'll have so much business. And that might have been great advice, but for me, it wasn't necessarily where I wanted to kind of pigeonhole myself. So I didn't take that piece of advice, even though it might have worked out really well for someone else. So just know where you want to go and listen to listen to all the voices, but only take the advice that you feel aligns with what you believe in your heart. And the other thing is something that I'm just learning, but I found that there's a real power in personal branding. So I used to go out and push, Plum Productions, but now I'm like, no, I'm Jen Jager, because people want to do business with someone that they feel has a real voice. And so don't, focus on your business, but don't be afraid to maybe have another channel where you're talking more directly with a wider audience or a broader customer base, because those people will follow you into your business, or you can pivot into something else. So I would say, don't be afraid to be the face of your business.
Yeah, that's a good tip. And I think that's good for any CEO at any level, I think too, right?
I mean, you see people like Elon Musk. He's got all sorts of different avenues going, but everyone knows who Elon Musk is. There's a real master of personal branding. And so I don't think that was as common, there's Steve Jobs, and there's always been these like real pillars, but I feel like with social media, with the internet, it's easier for even people in smaller businesses to really stand out if they want to take advantage of that. And I think it can really help long term, whether you decide to be an entrepreneur or you decide you don't want to be an entrepreneur and you want to search for a job, like really have a strong personal brand.
All right, good advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Olivia, you're next. Any last minute parting tips that you would like to give?
Well, I'll piggyback on Jen. I think creating a story is super important. And with social media these days too, you can be a smaller business and you can still have a voice. If you check out my Instagram, I'm very open. I'm a mom to 2 kids. I have a 2-month-old and I'm juggling, right? So, and I share that, I share my, I posted earlier this week, I'm there with my laptop. I've got my 6-year-old on top of me and my baby in my laps. And here I am trying to do some work. So, and I think that's endearing. I think it's, sharing that story, because we're not just a business, I'm not just a businesswoman, but I'm a mom, I'm a friend, I'm involved in the community. So I think that's really important. And also having a mission, that's something else, that's something that we also started really focusing on last year, was having a mission. Yeah, it's great to make money and sell, but at the end of the day, what is it that we want to do? So we added a charity to our offering. So now we donate a portion of proceeds to the American Cancer Society to fund women researchers, so again, I'm all about women empowerment. So it's about, it's an extension of my brand. So I think that that's really important. And with social media, the world is your oyster. And lastly, I would say be flexible. I think, when we all start a business, we think we want to go this way and this is the only way. And you realize that that's not going to happen. You go the other direction. It's such a evolving thing. Every day something new happens, and it's really kind of what keeps it fun, is that it's different every day, and it evolves. I really wasn't focused on selling direct to consumer pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and then you're like, everybody's hurting. So what I did was I pivoted and I said, okay, now let me really push my marketing and let me really be stronger in terms of selling directly online. So, and it's been great. We had our best online sales to date. So, I think you just need to be flexible and believe in yourself. You're going to get a lot of naysayers and, why, but when you believe in it, just keep on going and persist. I think that's a character trait that, all entrepreneurs share. So.
And who doesn't like a strong brand that supports a nonprofit or some sort of a charity thing? So kudos to you for adding that on. That's a great way to support both sides, right? So there's enough to go around for everybody, right? So
right, let's not be greedy.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lee, any parting advice that you have for the students that from your learnings over the last few years since you've gone through this?
Yeah, so definitely, since you're minors in business, a lot of people won't take you seriously, which can be quite annoying, but you just have to keep your professionalism, keep your respect in the process, make sure that you dress professionally every time you go to a meeting, make sure you speak in a professional manner, so that people will think you're older than you are, essentially. And remember that you're the expert on your product or your service. No one else can do exactly what you are doing, which also helps with your confidence going into meetings. If you remember that you're the expert, so they can't talk down to you about your own product because you're the one who knows the most about it. So it's a good confidence thing to remember that you're the expert on what you're doing.
Yeah, that's interesting, because you're right. If you allow people to talk down, they will, right? But when you come in like, no, I'm the boss here, I know what I'm doing, they treat you that way. So good advice, good tips. Thank you. And Rob, last but not least, obviously, we started off, you're going to finish us off. Any last minute tips before we get started with the elevator pitches?
Thank you. Yeah, I listen to what everybody said. It's just great, and I fully support and agree, and have lived a lot of what the people before me have said. So there's not much left to say. The only thing I would say is, starting as an entrepreneur, just the mistakes I've made, and I've made a lot. You learn a lot that way, and that's probably your best lessons are your mistakes. Don't be afraid to share them. Don't be ashamed, and it's just a process you have to get right. I learned over time that having things that are achievable, clearly, financeable, right, and realistic, whether it's a time frame or it's an objective, with a business that's obvious, and I think someone said it earlier, not too complicated, with a place I really know, you almost can't lose, right? And it's as easy to grow a small business as a big business. So think big, and I guess that's the best I can come up with.
Listen, that's pretty good advice. So I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
And I would like to say thank you to all the panel members, the CEOs, who were able to give some tips and advice to these students after having gone through at least the portion that I went through. Avia Barber had her section, and the questions that they asked are a lot of those were questions that they came up with on their own. And we kind of tweaked and finessed and figured out what's the best way to ask those questions, because some of them were not an easy question to ask. So I really appreciate everybody for being here for that, and thank you very much. So I think the next section, let's do this. We are going to get started with the elevator pitch competition. And really what this is where they're going to pitch their idea. They have talked about they're going to talk about what their product or service, what their business is, a little bit of background, if you will, but really what they're going to be doing is they're going to be pitching as if they're on an elevator. And, you're riding that elevator, you meet your potential clients, your potential target audience. You have to get it out in 30 to 60 seconds, right? So they have about 60 seconds, each of them, to say what they need to say. And I know they're going to do a great job, because we've been practicing the last few weeks, and the incredible pitches that they've done already has been cool to see, just the growth of their pitches. And I can't wait to see what they do tonight. So to get us started, we're going to start with Christian Frenette. He is 7th grade. He is at the Florida Virtual School. His product, and while I'm introducing, you guys could go ahead and turn your camera and unmute so we have you ready to go. But his product is the Real World Money Game. So Christian, let's hear your pitch.
Okay. Do you want to ensure the financial success of your teens? Well, I have the product for you. I'm the creator of the Real World board game that teaches teens how to plan financially, as taking loans, buying stocks, and making house payments. I sell this for a price that a family can afford. It's just like Monopoly, but even more fun. Thank you for your time.
Great job, Christian. All right. So in between each one, I'm going to pop back on here. In between each one, the judges need a couple seconds to write a few notes. So now that Christian has done his elevator pitch, they're frantically taking a couple notes. So there will be a quick pause here. I want to make sure that they have enough time to do that, and then we'll move on to the next one. So seeing Christian was one of the students last year with another idea that he had. So this is kind of cool to see him do a totally different idea, a totally different product, and coming up with all the bullet points that he needs to do in terms of a business plan. So that's pretty cool to see, and good for him for putting that together. He's been doing a great job with it. So I think Leah, you are next. Leah is at Wellington Landings Middle School. She is in the 8th grade, and her product, her business is called Blue Baked Bakery. Leah, go ahead.
Hi. Do you ever feel guilty when you're eating desserts? Well, I have the 2 most delicious, healthy, and homemade solutions. I have been baking since I was only 4 years old, while learning to make traditional treats from my native country, Panama. Hi, my name is Leah Gonzalez, and I am the owner of Blue Baked Bakery. Blue Baked Bakery sells super healthy and mouth-watering keto chocolate chip cookies. And for those of you who have a sweet tooth, we have alfajores, a Panamanian twist on Argentina's cookie pastry with creamy caramel inside. You can contact us by the information on bluebakedbakery.com. And here's a sample of both of those special cookies with my business card. If you flip it over, there's a code for 10% off your first order. Trust me, you will want to order them. Thank you.
Great job, Leah. Great job. I'm kind of hungry now, so I probably should place an order pretty soon. I got to tell you, I've heard this presentation a few times, and every time I hear it, I get more and more excited. I want to try one of those alfajores, so I cannot wait to try one someday. You've done a great job, so thank you. And I know that you have a passion for baking. We've talked about this in class too, that her passion is about baking good quality food, not just baking for fun. It's baking good stuff that people who want to be healthy can enjoy it as well. So I can't wait to see her business take off. I'm sure she's going to do a great job with it. Next is Jordan. Jordan is in 10th grade. He is at American Heritage School, and his product is Shericart. Sure, I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Shericart, yeah. So Jordan, it is your turn, and let's hear your pitch.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jordan Harold, and I'm the founder and CEO of Shericart. Have you ever been to your local grocery store and wondered what on earth is living on the handlebar of your shopping cart? Well, I have, and research suggests that you probably should as well. Studies show that the average shopping cart has 361 times more bacteria than a public bathroom's door handle. If that's not bad enough, these carts also include dangerous pathogens like Salmonella, E. coli, and even COVID-19. But after months of research and refinement, I have developed a safe, environmentally friendly, and cost-effective solution, Shericart. Combining state-of-the-art UV sanitation and the simplicity of a car wash, Shericart destroys 99.9% of germs lurking on your shopping cart using pure UVC light. If you want an efficient, high-tech solution to reduce the spread of germs and guarantee your customers a safe, confident shopping experience, join me in developing and deploying Shericart throughout supermarkets statewide. Thank you.
Oof, we're 3 in and I don't even know who to choose anymore. I mean, this is a great job, Jordan. That was fantastic. And just think about the times that we're in with COVID and all the stuff we've had to deal with. That it's taught us a valuable lesson about how to deal with germs, if you will. And I've always wondered what was on a shopping cart. Now I don't want to go shopping. So thanks for reminding me of that, but I appreciate it. Great job. You did a really good job, Jordan. Thank you. All right. So next up will be Mithil. Mithil is in the 8th grade. He's at American Heritage School. His business is called Better Brace. And so you have your 60 seconds to use how you would like. So Mithil, don't forget to take yourself off from mute because I know you need to do that still. All right. And go ahead.
Does your team come home every practice or game hurt or injured? Hi, my name is Mithil Kosa, and I've played soccer for 8 years. Now, as the CEO of Better Bracing, normally when I would put on a brace, it's not that comfortable. Essentially, this brace is made to be more comfortable than normal ankle braces. The reason I would like to open up this product to the public is that as a soccer player, getting hit in the same spot over and over again on the ankle gets frustrating. This may lead to a long-term physical health problem. My goal is to prevent this, either currently or in your senior life. My product is a bit different from other ankle braces because it has a variety of patterns and colors, which if players use on the field, they can support their team colors. At a cost-efficient price of only $10, this brace will be efficient to make the healing process speed up. Let's exchange business cards, and thank you for your time.
Great job for any of you soccer players, any of your sports players who don't want to get hurt while you're playing. Great product. Mithil, I don't remember. Have you created a prototype?
I have not. I have one online, but
all right. All right. Great job doing your pitch, though. I really appreciate you doing the practicing that you've been doing, and you did a great job tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Watching these students change from where they were a few weeks ago to now is I got to tell you, since the beginning of the year, a little bit dramatic. Some of the kids have been. It's hard because you have to do this all virtual Zoom. You have to put all these ideas together. You got to put the numbers together. Then you got to practice your pitch. There's just a lot of work that goes with it. And I got to tell you, they've done a great job these last few weeks, even with the restarting of school, going back to, some of them have been going back to normal school and some of them have been in virtual different things. So great job to each of you who've done all the practicing. Next, we're going to have Emily. Emily is in 6th grade. She is at Don Estridge Middle, and her product is very interesting. It's called Camp Delight Virtual Camp. So Emily, you have your 60 seconds to take us away. Go ahead.
Are you a parent of a 2nd through 5th grader, and are your kids driving you crazy? Well, let me introduce you to Camp Delight. Hello, my name is Emily King. I am proudly the CEO of Camp Delight Virtual Summer Camps. Our mission is to give you inexpensive hands-on summer camps. Last summer, I wanted to go to camp just as much as any other kid, but because of COVID, that was not gonna happen. And all the other virtual camps were either too expensive or did nothing hands-on. When you register for Camp Delight, we'll ship you a box with all the materials you need in camp. Also, we'll meet you on Zoom Monday through Friday for the actual camp. Call me now and get more information about the camp. Thank you for listening.
Great job, Emily. Great job. Listen, if I had to take a deep breath like I was, oh, what happened? You did a great job. Great job all the way around. I think the message was clear. So I can't wait to see what the judges say, because after all the pitches that we've done, I still don't know. Like, you just blew me away again. So great job. Everybody keep going. This is incredible. Like I said, the changes that you can see in each of these students every week is really cool. And I am beyond excited to see how the rest of these folks do. With that, let's see here. I want to make sure that we're on track. We have next is Chloe. Chloe is in 10th grade. She goes to St. Andrews. Her product is called Buddy Belt. And this is a cool invention too. So take it away, Chloe.
So I'm out walking my dog. He's doing his business and I can't find the bags. Oh, and now he's being good, but I can't find the treats either. This is why I need a Buddy Belt. Hello, my name is Chloe Levine. My product is the Buddy Belt. It is a belt that has detachable compartments containing different things needed for dog walking that will slide on and off of the belt. The 5 compartments that come with the belt are for dog treats, poop bags, a cell phone holder, a dog water bowl, and a wallet. Extra compartments that you may purchase separately include an umbrella, dog toys, dog wipes, and a poncho. If I was wearing my Buddy Belt, I wouldn't have to worry about the dog bags or the treats. Go and buy your Buddy Belt today. Is there a time next week you can meet?
Great job. I wish I had one of those. How many times have I been out taking the dog for a walk and I'm out of bags, or I need to put my phone down, or I need to put my phone down while I'm doing stuff. It's just crazy. So great product. And I this is one of those things where like, how did I not think of this? I don't know why I didn't think of that. So another great idea comes out of YEA every time. I think at this point, it might be a good time, just because I know that the judges need to kind of compile what they have so far and make sure that they're staying on track. I would like to have a quick second to talk to Barbara. And Barbara, I wanted to see if there was any words you wanted to, number one, share with the students, and any comments that you had that you wanted to share with us. Barbara, go ahead.
Yes, I'd love to. Rob, thanks for inviting me. It's great to see all of this come to fruition. It's great to be back with everyone again. And I do want to just take a second and start out by talking about the importance of having an elevator pitch. We, as the best salesperson of our own businesses, you can hire salespeople all day long, but the best salesperson is the owner of the business, because they have the biggest attachment. And it's not just about walking into an elevator. You're going to go to trade shows, chamber events, and even standing in line at Publix. You never know when you're going to meet your next best customer. So having your elevator pitch ready at a moment's notice is going to be your best friend in business. Another little tip is to take a breath before you start. So we saw some of that already from the students. Great job, guys. But those of you that are up next, when Rob says go, take a breath. This gives you a moment And even better, it creates anticipation. It's okay to have a tiny bit of dead air up front, as people will be leaning in, ready to listen to you. Plus, it gives you a break and gets you started out on the right foot. Smile. There's no substitute for an awesome smile. Another one is speak slowly. This is really important. No one knows what you're going to say. So if you speak very quickly and people miss something, that's the only shot you had. Take your time, speak slowly. And especially on Zoom, be a little dramatic. It's okay. Be a little over the top. It's hard to convey on Zoom emotion, so it's okay to be just a little bit farther out there than you might be in person, because without energy, you aren't able to convey a whole lot. And when you start your investor panel presentations, which you're starting with Rob, and then you're going to do more with Ken, more pictures, less words on the screen, and then use your words when you're speaking. And finally, I'd like to really jump onto what Jen said, because I say this all the time. People do business with people they like. Don't be afraid to be authentically you. Share your personal attachment to your business, because they want to hear your story. Why did you think of this? How did this come to fruition? What is your attachment to your business? Be you, and people will want to do business with you. Great job, guys, so far. Can't wait to hear the last group. Good luck, and I'll see you again soon when we're practicing for investor panel.
Great tips, Barbara. And you're not wrong, because when I go networking, one of the things that I like to ask people is why are you in this business? And it's interesting to learn some of the reasons why people start their business or get into it. So let's get back to the elevator pitches. I know up next is Rithik. He is in 10th grade. He's at St. Andrews. His business is called Shop Easy. Rithik, take it away. Don't forget to unmute. There we go.
Hi, my name is Rithik, and I'm the founder and CEO of Shop Easy. Now, I know a lot of you are successful business people, and you go through a ton of office supplies. You can't waste your time thinking your next order. Well, Shop Easy has you covered. Shop Easy specializes on giving you your orders from the highest quality suppliers in the most efficient way possible. Now, instead of you only having to choose from one supplier, Shop Easy gives you more, with our inventory laid out in front of you on our website. This is all brought to you through a simple and efficient delivery system. Along with a user-friendly website, your experience with us will be optimal. So what are you waiting for? Shop quick and shop easy.
Great job. And talk about concise, to the point. Probably one of those where you're in an elevator and you're going to need to get your point across quickly. Rithik, you did a great job with that, because it gets the point across. People can understand what you're talking about, know what your product is and how it works a little bit. So great job. I really have seen some strides in all of these students, and Rithik, especially you as well. So great job. Next up is Kennedy. Kennedy is also in 10th grade. Kennedy, you are homeschool, and also your business is called Compound. So Kennedy, when you're ready, don't forget to unmute.
Oh,
there we are, and you're on.
My name is Candy Murray, and my company is called Compound. Compound is an online counseling and information service for high school students of color in South Florida. Our aim is to provide help for and help young people of color by helping them better understand their mental health. Our website will feature links to trustworthy mental health resources. Compound wants to help young people of color by giving them easy access. That is the goal of our website. I believe that with Compound, we can help young students of color stop the stigma around mental health and create bright futures for those students. Thank you for your time. I would like to schedule a meeting to help you better understand my company and what it's all about.
Kennedy, great job. Listen, that is a great example of when you know where you're supposed to go with your statement, and sometimes it just goes, whoosh, but you come right back, and you did a great job. Listen, I have been there. You did a better job than I would have done. I got to tell you. So great job. You know, your product is probably more timely than anything. People are so locked up right now and at home and working from home, and they don't see much other than their dog or their cat. Or their spouse, and it's like, oh, what am I going to do today? And the biggest travel they get to do is from here to their living room, right? So, you know, having your service, I can see a value in our society, and I think you put a lot of thought into that. So I appreciate the fact that you see an opportunity, you see an issue, and you said, how can I help? And particularly with the demographic that you're describing, all of that fits really well together. So you really did a really great job, not only with your elevator pitch, but coming up with your service. So great job. Next up is Joshua. Josh is in the 9th grade, Donna Klein Jewish Academy, and your business name is Juggle. Where are you? There you are. You're ready, Josh? Here we go.
Shooting water through a pool noodle is so much fun for kids of all ages. But think of the germs. That's all I could think about when I saw the kids at the pool playing in this way. Watching them, the Juggle was born, a mouthpiece designed for the pool noodle. Hi, my name is Joshua Rubin, and I'm the CEO of Juggle. Insert your Juggle into one side of the pool noodle and blow out the water in a sanitary way. Juggles come in fun colors. I'm selling 2 Juggles for $5 or 4 for $9. I love Juggles because they are safe, fun, and easy to use. Buy them for your kids online at www.juggle.co. And it looks like this is my prototype. And you put it in the pool noodle like this. Thank you.
Great job, Josh. And I kind of want a pack of those, because those are pretty cool. I kind of think the same thing. And you know, if you think back to, let's see, with Jordan with the cart and the germs there, and you saw germs in the pool and the noodle and how they were playing with that, and you saw an opportunity. So I think I need to buy one of those. You said Juggle.co, is that what you said? All right, great.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
All right, great. So we'll keep checking back and make sure that we get a chance to buy them when they're ready. But great job, and great job coming up with an idea that is not only fun, but it's probably more necessary than we realize nowadays with all the germs that people pass between us. So it helps reduce that, I guess. So great job. Next up is Zach, also 10th grade from Pinecrest. His business is called Social Share. Zach, when you're ready, go ahead.
Wait. I just think I thought of the best idea ever. You know how annoying this stupid card is? We all have business cards, but they haven't been innovated since the 15th century. You can't put a lot of information on them. They're hard to share, really easy to lose, and they're really harmful for the environment. But I think I just thought of a solution for that. I'm Zach Schiller, and I'm the CEO of Social Share. Yeah, Social Share, that sounds right. The Social Share app will let users create personalized virtual business cards. They can have unlimited information on them, but instead someone has a contact, videos, a whole pitch deck if you want. They'll be shared by scanning, using a code, or texting a link. The best part is, it starts free on the App Store. Let's schedule a meeting for next week and talk about the takeover of Social Share.
Social Share, nice. And you said it without having any troubles. You must say that enough. I would stumble, say social share, social, right? So I like it because it sticks in your head and you can remember it pretty easily. So that was well done, and a good job on your elevator pitch, because people can understand what you were talking about and what it is and what you do. So good job.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what the judges say with everybody. I got to tell you, this far in, I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen, now this is what, 4 or 5 years now I've done this, and every year I'm wrong. I can't figure out who's going to win or who's not. So great job, Zach. And I appreciate you doing that. I think up next is Camilla. She is in 6th grade. She's with Don Estridge Middle School, and her business name is Buddy Visits. This is also another interesting business. So pay attention. You ready? Camilla, go ahead when you're ready. Don't forget to turn your camera on. I don't know if it's quite on yet.
I'm sorry, I was having some problems. The sad truth is that many seniors are far from their family and their friends. My name's Camilla Spinozzi, and I want to fix this problem. My company, Buddy Visits, is a non-profit organization giving seniors a chance to spend quality time with students. I actually have this issue with my grandma. She lives far away, and we're not able to spend quality time together. Luckily, I met a wonderful senior woman named Joanne. She's become like a grandma to me. Her grandkids live far away, so she has the same problem. It just struck me to know that other seniors may not be as lucky. By listing their interests on my site, seniors can be matched with students who share the same interests. This comes with no charges to the senior and rewards the students with volunteer hours. Seniors get a chance to share their life stories while the student listens and gains life experience. My service allows for students to bond with seniors and make lifelong friendships. For further information, we can set up a meeting. Here, let's exchange business cards. Thank you for your time.
Camilla, great job. Really, really nice job. And for those of you that are watching and listening, think about everybody has a parent or a grandparent who is in that same boat, right? Parents, their kids are away, grandkids are a long ways away. And what an opportunity for them to be able to share some time with a grandparent that's kind of like their own. So kind of a cool idea, Camilla. And you came up with that based on that issue, right? So yeah, so very cool. I love it. And I think it's a really creative idea and a really creative solution to a real issue that older folks will face. And particularly the more that their families are spread out over the country, it can be a real issue. So great job, Camilla. Next up is Jacob. Jacob is in the 8th grade. He's with Torah Academy of Boca Raton. And as you can see by the logo still on the screen, under his name is Free Play. That's the name of his business. Jacob, don't forget to put your camera on, but we are ready for your elevator pitch.
Hey there, I'm Jacob Lean. I remember sitting for hours trying to fix my broken Switch Pro controllers with no luck. It was so frustrating, I decided to do something about it. That's where Free Play comes in. Free Play is a virtual tool to teach you how to fix your own electronics. The website is full of useful and experience-based information that will prepare people to fix their own electronics. While doing that, you could visit the other half of the website and buy electronics for your own gaming. Come visit my website at freeplayfix.com and be sure to use code GRANDOPENING to get 10% off any purchase. I'll see you there soon.
Great job, Jacob. Another student that I've just, all of you, I've seen you all go from where you started when we started working together. You already had a lot of great ideas and stuff put together. And by the time we get to here, look at you guys. You guys do an elevator pitch. Even though it's on Zoom, it's the same as public speaking in front of a large group, right? It's the same thing. And you guys did a great job. So thank you, Jacob. Great job. And for all of the students, thank you for doing your elevator pitch so well. Number one, you made our whole group look good, and you made us as a group look good. So that was really cool. And I got to tell you, the judges, they have a lot of work to do here. I have no idea how they're going to decide who is the winner of this, who's first, second, third, let alone, I don't know how you would do that. I'd hate to be in your shoes. So at this point, might make sense for us to introduce the Golden Bell Chair, Chuck Stout, to tell us a little bit more about the foundation. And so, Chuck, if I could have you turn your camera on and give us a few words. Chuck?
All right. You can see me okay? All right, great. So good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much to the students and the parents. As Rob mentioned, I'm Chuck Stout. By day, I'm an insurance consultant with CBiz Employee Benefits. But for the past 4 years, I've had the pleasure of being chairman of the Golden Bell Education Foundation, which oversees the YEA program. I have to thank all my board members, many of which are listening in tonight. Thanks to all the parents who helped their kids get through this. It's been a challenging time. I'm so impressed with all the students who really had to go and adjust this year for both your regular school and the YEA program. It's been an unusual year, but it's so impressive as always. Thanks to our CEO panelists, as well as the teachers, mentors, but none of this would be possible without the work that Charisse does for the chamber or for the YEA program. So if we were here in person, we'd all give her a round of applause. So when you see her, please be sure and thank her so much. As Troy mentioned earlier in the night, the Golden Bell this year reached a milestone. We were able to give away $100,000 to our local schools. This is the most ever in history. However, this year obviously is going to be a whole new challenge. We are funded solely by individual donations and corporate donations. So if you or your family or your business would like to learn more about how you can help support Golden Bell, get involved through sponsorships or mentorships or anything like that, it's a fantastic program. We have people that come back year over year over year, and we really greatly appreciate it and need them now more than ever. So that's all the time I'm going to take, but I think now I'm going to go back to Rob. I will be back in a few minutes to announce the winners. So stay tuned, and we'll have the winners coming up shortly. So Rob, back to you.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it. And I echo Chuck, if you have a minute to donate, I would do that. I know they had one of the events that the Golden Bell puts on is the Battle of the Bands. That's a great event. It supports the foundation as well. So if you get a chance to participate or just donate or be a part of it, it's well worth the time and the effort. I think it might be a good idea for me to call on Troy. Troy, is there anything that you would like to say that after seeing some of these elevator pitches, I'm sure there's something that comes to mind. We'd love to have that. So if you're, yeah, I see you're shaking your head. So what do you have to say for us?
Yeah, Rob, you're right. First of all, Rob, I want to thank you for doing an awesome job emceeing the program tonight. So appreciate your efforts. Yeah, first of all, as I mentioned, our organization has been delivering this YEA program through Golden Bell for 10 years now. And I also happen to sit on the National Board of Directors for the Young Entrepreneurs Academy, which is located up in Rochester, New York. So I've been to Rochester for the national finals, as has Charisse in the past. And I am amazed every year. 10 years ago, I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. All the students who went through the program are amazing. Like Rob had said earlier, I was not doing what you're doing when I was your age. I wish I was. I wish something like this was available. But I see year after year, and it starts with the elevator pitches and then develops to the full-blown presentations. You kids are amazing. I mean, nothing short of it. Your confidence in how you sort of command a camera on a screen, it'll be different when we get back in person, is a skill, and I think Randy Nobles might have mentioned it earlier, that's just critical, I think, for your future success. So I just want to say, awesome job by everybody. And yeah, I'm glad I'm not on the judging panel right now, because it's quite amazing. But you need to know that where you sit right now in the program, you can compete with any other YEA program that's being delivered across the country right now, and be successful. So I hope you're proud, and for the parents and friends and family that are watching, I hope you're proud too, because what your kids are doing here is pretty special. And certainly makes us, Chairman Stout and I, with the Chamber and the Foundation, just so excited to continue to invest in this program, continue to offer to the students this journey of entrepreneurship. Again, getting to hear from the Jagers and Bushes and Liebersfelds and Stouts of the world, you're pretty fortunate to have access to that talent and that level of success. And I certainly encourage you to continue to do that. There's more time on this journey till we get to the final presentations. I can't wait to see it. I mean, you guys have teased us, right, with your elevator pitches, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do, is to, get me interested in you and your business as I walk off the 8th floor of the elevator, and then call you back and engage me, like Barbara said. No one can sell your company better than you can. And again, I commend everybody tonight for your amazing job, and can't wait to see the final products in the extended version of the presentation. So well done, keep it up. You're in a great spot. And as Chairman Stout said, in unique times and in a situation where it may be even more challenging, but you'd never know it in watching you all tonight deliver your pitches. So I'm just proud to watch it and can't wait to see it to the end. So thank you, Rob. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure, and thanks for your thoughts. And you know, I got to tell you, if nothing else, this whole coronavirus thing has taught me is that people are extremely resilient with having to deal with something that's very different, very weird, and figure it out. What do we need to do next? And honestly, these kids here have come up with concepts and ideas that actually fit into that. Just like all the adults do. We all figure it out and we'll make things happen. So I echo Troy, congratulations. You guys all did a great job, and I don't know how they're going to choose. I need to find out, Charisse, I know I'm turning it back over to Chuck Stout for the winners. Who's first, who's second, and third? Are we ready for that? I didn't know if we were ready. So
Rob, I'm ready.
All right, take it away.
Okay, and before I get started, because I know it's kind of late in the afternoon, everybody's ready for dinner, but I do want to let Leah know that I went online looking for some of your cookies to buy. So, because they sounded really good. So when you have them ready to start ordering, I'm gonna reach out to you and place an order. So, all right. So without further ado, I'm gonna list the top 3 winners in reverse order. So in third place, it's Stericart. So congratulations and a round of applause. Second place is Social Share. Congratulations. And I didn't stutter over that either, Rob, but congratulations on that one. And the first place for tonight, for the elevator pitch winner is Buddy Visits. So congratulations to all of you. You're amazing. I can't wait to see everybody at the investor panel pitch that'll be coming up. It's gonna be real money being given out. So I will reconvene and see you all then. But Rob, turn it back to you or Charisse for any finishing comments.
Great job. I think, Charisse, you are up next. You're going to close us out, but I just wanted to say a quick word. The top 3, I mean, I don't know how you chose that, because all of them were really good. And I'm just proud of all of you, and great job to the ones that got the top 3. Great job. So Charisse, I turn it back over to you.
All right. Oh my gosh. Rob, you said it best. Like there's no way that we could pick the top 3. It's just different for everyone. But I want to say to each student, you all did incredible. I'm just thinking of the practices that we had. You all were phenomenal. Congratulations to the top 3, but the rest of you did so great. I want to thank the viewers, all that stayed on to watch this entire event or to watch the students in some capacity. Thank you all for being part of this tonight. There will be, and please save the date. Please, this is so important, because there will be the investor panel presentations, which is the bigger presentations where the students will have 3 minutes to actually present PowerPoint slides, to not just pitch their idea just for us to know it, but so that they can get funding for their business. So please save the date. It will be Wednesday, March 3rd. So that's a little more than a month away, but put that on your calendars. It's going to be phenomenal to see even more growth for the students. Thank you, the panelists. Thank the panelists. Thank you, judges, the instructors, and especially our visionary, who is the lead of the Boca Raton Chamber of Commerce, Troy McClellan, for making sure that all of this is possible. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night, get rest, and we'll see you at the investor panel presentations. Good night.
Can we have all the students and panelists come on for a quick picture?
I think you need to start my camera because it says that I can't see it.
Let me turn on my camera.
it doesn't let me turn on my camera either.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we'll get you guys on.
She's a control freak. She doesn't want anybody to have their cameras on. Just kidding.
Try it again. See if you can turn them on.
No for me.
Doesn't let me.
Okay.
No, it says you can't start your video.
I
While we're,
think
while
maybe
we're doing
Sharice.
this,
And the
what?
host able to.
I can't. Oh, can I?
I
Do
think
I need to
Sharice
get-
should just I think there should be like 3 dots by the corner of every person. And ask
so
to start
Chastity, I
video.
didn't do it. I can't. It doesn't give.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Not an
can't
option.
do anything.
So
Yeah,
then who's the host?
Everybody's jumping around. So hold on one second, because it's showing me that you guys have the ability to do it. So
While you figure this out, I just want to say, Rob and Barbara, are you still on here? If I could just say something. We don't have time. We're going to do it next week. But you students, every last one of you, please do not feel bad if you weren't in that top 3. It is. I don't know how they chose. We don't know how they chose. But Emily, because you're first on the square, you burst on and you're just a 6th grader. Her energy, her dramaticism, I was like, look at Emily. You did so good. She did so good.
we have 21 attendees still watching what we're doing.
Oh.
So thanks for hanging out with us while we get our picture ready.
Okay.
No, all of you guys did a great job. I gotta.
Oh,
tell you.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
When I say that, I mean it. I'm blown away because to me, it's still public speaking, and you were fearless.
All right, you guys ready? I think Sam just keeping his camera off. All right, we're gonna do a quick picture. So everybody sit up straight, look directly in your cameras. I'm going to do 2 of them. So let's hope that this works. Hold on one second. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everyone smile.
Cheese.
Hold on, let me get that in here. And then we're gonna do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Chastity, for behind the scenes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, everybody have a great evening.
Yes, everybody have a good night. Thank you so much, panelists, students. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, good
Judges,
job.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
job. See you guys next week.
Next week, 4:30.